Good evening. It's Sunday the 7th of September. It's around about, I think, 6:30 in the evening, and there's a full moon, almost full moon, which is in Pisces, I think. And it's just risen. It rose about, or started rising about an hour or so ago. And the eclipse, I think the eclipse is about 2 in the morning here. So apparently, if it's a clear night, we should be able to see it. But whether I'll still be awake at 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't know. There was a time when I used to set my calendar. I used to be awake for all of these things. I remember one time, years and years ago, there was a comet. There's been a couple I've tried to see. It was the Hale-Bopp comet, and it would have been in the early 90s, and I think I was pregnant with my second child. I had one baby, and I managed to get everyone in the street out at 4 o'clock in the morning to see this comet, and I'd got the night wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What have we got for the lunar eclipse in Pisces? We've got the Knight of Cups. So we've got the Knight of Cups, which is pretty crazy because the Knight of Cups rules is a card of the first and second decans of Pisces and the third decan of Aquarius. And in the major arcana, he's related to the moon. So this is the 7th day of this, and we've had some pretty amazing cards, but I think this one for today, when we're going to get a lunar eclipse in Pisces and a big full moon, is pretty crazy. And there we go. And knights have always got that element of fire because they represent fire as knights. But he's a nice, generous, kind of traditional knight in shining armour, I guess. A bit frivolous. I think he can be, because of that Aquarian bit, he can be a bit elusive as well. And I think the knight is in the house of, like, mysticism. It's a 12th house. Is it the 12th house? I think it is. And so it's like he keeps secrets, so he can keep secrets. And yeah, and in the card he's pretty open, really. I mean, it's a very simple card, but you can still see things. I mean, if you look at obviously he's bending. The central feature is the cup, the big emotional surge, and he's bending his whole being towards his emotions, kind of like heart on your sleeve kind of thing. So we have a nice, watery, kind and loving, and maybe possibly elusive Knight of Cups. And because you've got all the air, the air for that bit of Aquarius. So there's our Knight of Cups. I'm really enjoying this deck. I haven't used this deck for years because, I don't know, sometimes I tend to avoid the kind of Rider-Waite decks. I don't know why, Rider-Waite decks. But that's why this challenge has been so brilliant, because I've been using lots and lots of decks that I haven't used for years, and discovering things. I was trying to think what I'm going to do next week for the next 7 days. Instead of using, well, I'll see how it goes. I'll see what decks I choose. I haven't chosen the decks for next week yet, so we'll find out how that goes. I do have a list. I'll have a look at them and find which ones I've still got to use. But let's do our Oracle card and see if that gives us any insight into our eclipse in Pisces. And we did have the mermaid eclipse the other day in this deck. Do a riffler. I'm going to do it upside down because the cards are getting bent the wrong way. So, oh look, we've got yesterday's Clockwork Pumpkin. Okay. Top. And what do we get? Knight, so that's 12. So ta-da! Boom. 2 little witches. Magical space clearing time. So what do we think about when we think of space clearing? In an energy vibe. I love the broom. I've got witch's broom on my besom. over in the corner there. And I do use it, I actually use it to clean energy. So to me, space clearing is cleaning the energy field. And I do it by physical activity, burning off. I do things like mowing the lawn or housework. If I'm feeling really, you know, when you're really frustrated and you can't think of anything that will make you feel better, really, you know, you can't concentrate to read, you don't, all the things you really enjoy doing that make you feel better are not working. Well, you don't have that kind of energy. And that's when I do things I don't normally enjoy doing. I do like cleaning the floor, mowing the grass. Although I've got to enjoy mowing the grass more and more and more because I like listening to audiobooks while I do it. And I kind of sometimes really look forward to these tasks. So, because you're burning up that energy, that's the negative energy. I see it as getting rid of it. So the harder I work, the more I'm getting rid of this energy. And it clears my, I don't know if you want to call it an aura or what, I don't know. It clears the space around in my head. Because no matter how clear the space outside me is, my head needs to be clear. And the same with the outside space needs to be clear for me as well. I'm not someone who can survive in chaos, or if there's something that needs to be done and it's obvious, it will bug me until I do it. So, but the way I use the broom is, yeah, to just sweep around the air and imagine all of the crappy stuff being cleared out and worries and stuff like that. And I did learn this other trick too. I can't remember where I did it. Anyway, it was another energy clearing thing. When you use your hands, you just literally stand, and you can do it if in the workshop I was doing, this was years ago, I did it with a partner, but you can do it on your own. You literally get your hands and you flap away, like as if you're brushing down your whole body, but you just outside, you know, not, you don't need to touch. You just, the air around you, and you kind of sweep it down and down and down and then around to the ground, then you just whoosh it away and get rid of it. And it sounds a bit nuts, but it actually does work. So those are things I do for space clearing. And then there's the physical, obvious space clearing of like clearing your desk, because clean energy helps you to, you know, do things. And eclipse is a bit like that, you know. It's like wiping a slate clean. Okay, I'm going to have a look what the book says for this card. I'll just prop it up there. So we've got number 30. Magical space clearing time. From out of the shadows come the two little witches, solemn and sincere. They fix you with their clear green and blue gaze, and ready for you the magic that is the broom they're about to pass on to you. And what is the magical secret of this broom? Why? That it can sweep clear any old stale energy that's lurking about you at the moment. Take this broom and see it whisk all by itself once, 3 times, widdershins around your house, your hearth and your home, and it will clear out all that is hiding in the shadows of the corners and the underneath of the rooms of your soul and home. Widdershins is a traditional direction for clearing energy. It means against the sun, and in the northern hemisphere to go widdershins is to direct energy in a counterclockwise direction. In the southern hemisphere it is to direct energy clockwise. When it is done, they clap their hands 3 times and the broom returns to their arms, and they move on to the next home that needs their help. Well, isn't that jolly nice? The 2 witches come and do your housework. I love it. But now that is done, what will you fill your space and your life with? That is the greatest and trickiest choice of all, but one which only you can make. Well, this channel is doing that for me at the moment, and it's very new. So we've got a little poem here. The 2 little witches speak. Out, out, and from within, we cleanse this space from trouble and din. Out, out, let all be gone, and make this place a cheerful home. We are here to cleanse and clean, we are creatures in between. We will work from dusk till dawn to ensure energy is reborn. We leave it clear and bright and blank, and for this task we ask no thanks. But we do wish you well in this. May all brought in create your bliss. May all brought in create your bliss. Isn't that lovely? Oh, what a lovely card to end the week with. And the divination message. Oh, this is so cool. I keep saying that, don't I? This is what I was talking about. Listen, make the mundane work for you. It's time to conduct a house clearing followed by a house blessing. Here is an easy pointer. New locations, even the smallest of changes for household objects or rearrangements of what goes where in your bedroom or an entire move is very much on your mind when these twin witches show up with their brooms of power. If there's anything keeping you back from making that change, please make small, useful and symbolic gestures. Shift the furniture and clear away what you no longer need. Whenever we make a change, we always rediscover stuff we've been hanging on to, stuff that's weighed us down without even realising it was there. Time for a space clear for you. Well, I love that bit about making the mundane work for you, because that's exactly what I was talking about, doing the housework and stuff. And you know, I love these little witches. I'm really so happy that they came today. And the other thing, when it says about relocating and organising space, I've been trying to set up a space where I can make videos at the other end of the house. So I've been very much focusing on that, and I'm not sure which space I'm going to use at the moment, because it depends whether I end up staying here or not, or that's another. When I get into the vlogging, when I get brave enough to do that and share more, I want to talk about that. Because I love my house and my home. You know, I'm Cancerian, multiple. I'm a home lover. I've got I think 5 planets in Cancer. Oh yeah. 9, 10 in water. No air in my sign. So I love this. I just love this card. So ain't that just wonderful? But the part of the book that it said about a little bit of just a little action, a little tiny thing can get something going, is so true. I found that, you know, if you've got a whole house to clean, it's really hard. But if you just focus on one small thing, like you say, right, I'm just going to do this shelf, or maybe even half of the shelf. I started off my decluttering journey, which I started years ago, by telling myself I was going to declutter one thing a day. And it could be a really small thing. Didn't have to be big. And then sometimes just doing that would get me into doing more and more. And then you get to a point where you kind of burn out and get over it and you have to have a long break. But it still works. You just have to do it in layers. And I also believe that when you need to do something, especially like making decisions or things, you've got to wait until the energy's right. And if you can't do it, and if your body doesn't want to do it, and if your brain and your mind don't want to do it, it's because it's not the right time to do it. And it took me years to learn that, you know. When I didn't have a car over COVID and stuff for about 2 years, and it got to the point where I thought I would never drive again. I got so much fear and anxiety about it all. And driving's really hard for me anyway. It's like sensory overload. And then I just tried to let it go. And you know what? When I finally did get another car, I knew it was right, because it happened completely out of the blue. I happened to quickly decide one Saturday morning I'm going to look for a car, quickly checked a website that my daughter got a car from, saw a car, rang the person up, they said, we'll bring it for a test drive this afternoon. Test drove it, said, yep, I'll buy it. Done and dusted, not a single issue. It checked all my boxes, like I wanted it to be able to use my phone to connect to the radio, which my old car couldn't. I've had my old car well over 10 years. And it had to be under a certain price, and it had to have a 4-star safety rating, and a big boot, and I checked all those boxes, you know. It was great. Oh, and a big bonnet, because I don't like short bonnet cars. So you've got to wait till the time is right and when the energy's right, and that's when things work. And I think doing this mundane stuff and this cleaning can help that come about. But I said I was going to check out, let's have a look. So this is my catch-all notebook. And in here, oh actually no, it's not in that one, it's in the old one, because I did it at the beginning of the year. Where's my old one? In here I've got a list of all of the tarot decks that I hadn't used yet in last year's experiment. So, here we go. So, the Light Grey Tarot one, I've used that. Circo Tarot, I haven't used that one yet. Lise Hunt's Fairy Tale, I've used that. I've used a Victorian Romantic, I've used Bohemian Gothic. Lillifer, I haven't used a Lillifer. Oh, I love that deck. Journey of the Sacred Bee. So these are all the ones that didn't get into the last year's. I used 52 decks last year, but Baba Studio Mythical Creatures, the Dark Crystal, oh I love that deck. Squid Cake Marseille, I haven't used that one yet. Pip decks, I do like them, but Northern Animals, I love that deck. Actually, I might use that one because I want to use it while it's still wintry. Unicorns of the Universe is another favourite deck of mine, and sometimes I leave the favourites until later for when I really feel like I need a good deck. Spacious Tarot, another one I love, but last year I used that. I didn't use that as in the thing because it was my deck of the year that I did my yearly spread with last year. I've used the Aquarian, I've used the Morgan Greer, haven't used the Hoi Polloi, used the Celestial, I've used the Raven's Dream, I haven't used the Druidcraft. Wonderland I've used, Arthurian Legend, Animal Totem. I haven't used a Mythic Tarot. That's an old deck. Mystical Cats I haven't used. Oh, I have used a Mystical Cats. I haven't used a Dark Goddess. I've used a Tarot of the Crone though, yeah. I've used a Victorian Fairy, the Star Spinner. That's quite fun. Haven't used that. Marielle I've not used yet. The Rabbit Tarot is another lovely deck. I've used the Tarot. I love that one. We've got some goodies coming up. Ghosts and Spirits, that's on my kind of out list, I think. Golden Tarot, yeah, Frail Grand Duchess I've used, Tarot of the She, Touchstone I haven't used yet, the Silhouette Tarot I haven't used yet, The Hobbit, that's another one that's on the way out, on the out list. Saki Saki I haven't used, Carnival at the End of the World is another one I love, and the Pagan Otherworlds, oh that's a lovely, they go well together, that's a pip deck. Though the Stunning Tarot I haven't used yet, and Janessa Juice's other deck I haven't used. Idiosyncradeck I've not used. I've got some really goodies to go. The Slow Holler, oh I love that deck. I'm so scared because they only have a very hard deck to get. I got the first edition. I got one for me and one for my daughter, and then they never redid it. It was the only collective deck that I really love. Deirdre with the Sorrows, I like that. I've used that one. Bonefire I've used. Shadowscapes I've used. The Bansky Tarot I've used. The Wildwood I've used. The Poet's Tarot I haven't. I spoke about that the other day. The Mystic Dreamer I've used. Right, so there. We've got all these decks to go. I've run out of oracles. I ran out ages ago. But so what shall we use tomorrow? Let's have a think. What I used to do, one way of doing it, because I couldn't decide, was I would think, okay, I'm going to use the first one, or I'm going to count to whatever day it is. So tomorrow will be the 8th, and I'll use the 8th deck that I haven't used. So that would be, so Circa would be the first one. Lilith would be the second one. Mythical Creatures would be the third one. Squid Cake Marseille would be number 4. Northern Animals number 5. Unicorns of the Universe number 6. A Spacious Tarot number 7. It would be the Hoi Polloi. That's a pip deck, and maybe I'll see. I'll look at it. Anyway, we will think about that. If there's any in there that you saw that you want me to use, let me know in the comments. And if it's too late, I'll think about it next week. So yeah, let me know if you want me to use any of those decks. These Hobonichi notebooks are so lovely. You've got to love this paper. They're just lovely. I did think about not getting a planner this year and just using these, but I will get a planner. I'll definitely get the Weeks. I love the Weeks. Is just one of my favourite books of all time. The notebook is so aesthetically pleasing. Okay, enjoy the lunar eclipse. Enjoy the energy. May the two witches come and clean your house for you, and may your knight in shining armour always be there, ready to put his cloak over all the muddy puddles in your life. Thank you for being here, and thank you for listening. And we've done 7 days. Woohoo!